YouTube, it is I, This Kid, and welcome to This Kid's production. Today I'm going to do a quick review of a movie that came out recently and that I forgot to, give my 2 cents on. And that was The Legend of Tarzan, starring Alexander, the guy from True Blood who played the one blonde dude, and Margot Robbie, Christoph Waltz, and Samuel L. Jackson, the baddest motherfucker to ever walk the planet. Now, this review is basically gonna be a positive review. I did not hate the movie. I'm sorry this is camera flying all over the map, but I have to go to work soon. I'm extremely anxious right now, so just give me 5 minutes. Just lost my socks. So, what did I think about The Legend of Tarzan? Well, honestly, I didn't think it was a bad movie. The one thing I will say, though, about it is the fact that it's fun. It's fun. Not great. It's not the best movie in the world. Neither is it a bad movie. Like, it falls in between, more to the likable side than, like, say, the bad side. There are some dumb moments in it, but honestly, it keeps into the tone of the movie. Like, I'm just looking for these socks. I got time. But I'm gonna make it a quick one. So, what I thought about The Legend of Tarzan. Well, yeah, it was good. Like, I like the story they told here. They do a bit of that flashback origin story, like the same way Once Upon a Time in Mexico did it. But where Once Upon a Time in Mexico did it was more of a semi-sequel where it's like in between, where it's like, oh, we've got, this happening and this happening. It tells the origin again, and based on this origin, Tarzan's parents, one dies of disease, and the other one gets beaten to death by fucking gorillas. And I like the fact in this story, the gorillas don't try to kill Tarzan, like the one, the mother gorilla's like, I'm protecting this one and all that. There are some things I like about it, like the fact that he doesn't, straight up, speak to animals. He doesn't, hey, how are you? He's more in the lines of grunting and a lot more, gesture things. And there's a cool scene in the movie, in my mind, that, I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. Tarzan does win. He, being very narcissistic, he's pretty much, going commando in this movie. Not in the entire movie, but in the in the, flashback scenes. Which, honestly, I like, because in the other incantations of any Tarzan, he's wearing a loincloth, which, honestly, why would you do that? What self-consciousness do you need to be wearing a loincloth? And it's kind of ridiculous. Why would you do that? But in this, he has a full beard. He's not that hairy, but honestly, fuck it. That's my air conditioner. When he first meets Margot Robbie in the movie, in the flashback, he sniffs her, and, he goes down to her, crotch area and sniffs that. And I was like, oh, shit, they're doing a, homage to Wolf. In the same movie, Wolf, James Spader sniffs, Michelle Pfeiffer, and I was like, oh, okay. But in that scene, it's straight out of the Disney Tarzan, so they're showing a lot of respect to the previous ones. This is more in lines of a pulp novel rather than, say, an origin story. It's its own original story, which the story itself is good. It involves slavery, blood diamonds, tribe blocking the blood diamonds and winning Tarzan's head for killing his son. Another cool moment in the movie where Tarzan fights his brother, his gorilla brother, because he was considered a abandoner, a left behind. What's the word I'm looking for? Not left behind, but a deserter. And so Tarzan has to prove that he wasn't, and he gets beaten up by the gorilla. Samuel Jackson's in it, and he's fucking phenomenal. As I think agent, as a secret agent, basically. He's having fun. You can tell this movie is just fun beyond recognition. Samuel Jackson is a cool motherfucker. A disclaimer too, and I'll just get that later. My mind's rushing right now. I gotta get to work soon. Tarzan I know it's fight. There's a cool train sequence where they're jumping on the train. They sneak around. Tarzan being Batman as shit. There's a scene where he walks into a room, a cabin, a train car full of soldiers, and they all look at him. One gets up, he looks at the dude, and he's just like sits back down, and it's hilarious. Like, there's a humorous moment. This movie doesn't take itself that serious, and that's the point I'm trying to say. Is like there are some dumb moments in it, but there are some very cool moments. Like Margot Robbie, fucking, I know, beautiful as hell, but goddamn, she can act. There's a scene where she tries to reach for Christoph. They're having dinner. She's caught by Christoph Waltz, and you know the whole scene. You are Tarzan. He is Jane. He will come for you. You know, he is Tarzan. He is Jane. You know, he is Tarzan. You're Jane, and he will come for you. And that just scene, and he's a bad motherfucker too in that. Like, he's not taking any chances and shit like that. He's a bit like a James Bond villain, which, funnily enough, he did play. Yeah, he's very intimidating. A lot of the main villains he's the only one that's like mainly intimidating. My biggest problem with that too is the fact that I just popped that out. Is the fact that there's no real main like heavy, like, you know, in a James Bond movie or something like this, you need somebody who's like equally physically fit to fight the hero. Like, you know, you need somebody who's like the muscle, basically. You need someone like Jaws or something like that. I will give credit to Christoph Waltz, a bad motherfucker too, and Margot Robbie, but the scene with Margot Robbie and Christoph Waltz when they're having dinner is kind of interesting because they reverse the feminist like role a little bit and kind of like make it more real in a sense. Like, she tries to go after his like choker thing, and like he instantly grabs it, like he grabs it real quick and grabs her wrist, and then you can tell it's like hurting her wrist. And like now is the scene when he's like, "Could you pass the pepper?" And like another scene where he's trying to get a knife. She's you know, he's got his knife, and he's like, "Oh, could you hand me my knife back, the one you stole from me that's underneath the table?" And that scene is badass too. Another scene I do like in this movie too is the fact that let's see, let me think. Like, they kind of like bend around the cliches a little bit. Like, there's a scene where Tarzan's like they all grab, like the scene when they're trying to catch the train. Tarzan is grabbing vines and stuff, and Samuel L. Jackson grabs one, and it's like, you think for a moment, like, you think it's a good idea to grab a random one? Tarzan then grabs it and then yanks it, and it snaps off. And he's like, "Get on my back." Which, by the way, like, this movie is like a pulp comic. It's not supposed to be like the realistic interpretation. Realistic to a point where it's like, alright, fine, it's a comic, but like, you're going after the novelization of the pulp comic. So, yeah, that's all. Yeah, it has its problems, but it's not like, if you just like, I wouldn't say shut off your brain, but like think in a different way. Like, this is not Batman Dark Knight realism. It's more fun. It's like, okay, this is a movie that's not trying to be intellectually smart or trying to like push an agenda, well, except for maybe save the rainforest, which honestly we should be doing. But it also has some other agendas too. It has some other messages in there too. But the whole movie's basic premise is basically, it's Tarzan trying to save, you know, Africa, and basically the whole premise is going back to your roots, going back to nature, and understanding like where you came from. Because one of the main plots in this is that Tarzan and Jane are trying to have a child. They had, I think they had a miscarriage when they were at Greystoke Manor, which is Tarzan's real name is John Clayton, Lord of Greystoke, I think it is. I like to call him John Greystoke because that sounds like a more appropriate name, because Clayton was the main villain of the Disney one. Yeah, and Jane was a fucking badass. Jane was kind of tough in this too. She wasn't playing damsel in distress. So, yeah, my final thoughts on Tarzan, pretty good. No, not great, but pretty good. I give it a mediocre score, maybe, I don't know, I'm not good with this. Possibly a 7 out of 8, a 7 out of 10. Going by the 10 side of it. It's not bad, but you're gonna have an entertaining time watching it. And just having a good time watching it. If you just, like, don't, like, overanalyze anything that much. And I know that's, like, you know, everybody's like, oh, like, there are some movies out there you can't just overanalyze. So, with that being said, This is this kid saying, you know, put your faith in what you most believe in. Two worlds, one family. Trust your heart, let fate decide. Guide us through this heat. Take care.